Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox, and I'm coming to you today with the review for How to Get Away with Murder, Season 5, the season finale. So much happened on this episode. It was like all season was very meticulous and slow, built the story, and then they waited to the very last episode to keep us stressed out for the whole fucking hour. Not the last 15 minutes as usual, okay? A whole hour of stress. It was really good, though, but so much. I'm glad I didn't watch it last night. I didn't watch it till this morning. I wouldn't have been able to sleep after that. So, yeah, I've learned with How to Get Away with Murder to watch it when, I'm more relaxed and, don't have to be taking my ass to sleep afterwards. Anyway, you guys, I got my notes here, the review. Let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys, so we see Real Nice Nate's daddy talking to the slick lawyer, Javier, Laurel's brother. Well, I thought his name was Avery. I don't know what I was thinking. Anyway, he's telling the dad he can offer him, his freedom and get the court date set and all that. And daddy see right through him. Get your ass up out of here. Okay. And he tells him, you're going to regret that. Then we see Real Nice Nate and Annalise showing Laurel the video. All right. Any reason why your damn brother might be there? And she says, well, because he doesn't want me and Annalise to win. And Annalise was like, don't put me in this shit. We all in hell now because of your damn fucking family. I was like, that's right. They've been a pain in the pussy for the last three seasons, you guys. I'm so sick of Laurel and her damn daddy and all of them. As far as Annalise is concerned, her family is the reason why everybody is in the mess that they are in. And fuck, she didn't even want to hire Laurel as an intern, but fine-ass Frank's penis just had to have her. So Annalise is tired of this. She want her fucking life back. She's tired of trying to clean up everything for everybody else. Finance Frank was like, oh, so you gonna blame us now? Why not? Okay, y'all seem to be the problem right here in front of my face. So Laurel takes it back to the house. Okay, the kids are there. They trying to figure out what to do with the mama scalp that's sitting up here in this bag. And when she get back home, they were just like, so what did Annalise say? And she says, well, Annalise hates me. I said, well, good. She joined the club. We all hate your ass. Now, FBI Blondie, remember last week she went over to Gorgeous Gabe's house. Well, she barges in, and he was like, I told you I wasn't working with you. Like, why are you here? And she was like, honey, you're going to have to make a decision. You can choose between Annalise and between your mama. And Annalise goes to meet with the governor. Okay, she at the church, Catholic church, sitting there waiting in the pew, and the governor walks in, and Annalise tells her, look, I know those phone records, Emmett, that you gave me of Emmett's are fake. Okay, so who made them up for you? The governor's like, if you think that I have the ability to do that, she was like, no, you don't have the ability, but you know people that can do it. So what's up with it? The governor was basically like, I'm innocent, though. And Annalise says, innocent, my ass. You are faker than the records that you gave me. And the governor was just like, oh, well, we'll let the FBI figure all of that out. And she walked out. I said, oh, that demon governor. Now, Steen calls Annalise and tells her that the FBI is there and that they taken Emmett. And Annalise was like, no, you can't let him take him because he's innocent. We were wrong. It's Laura Castillo's family that's after us and not Emmett. Okay, well, as soon as Steen hears Castillo, that scares her. She's afraid of them. She knows she's a Jane Doe. Like, oh no. Okay, so Annalise is trying to convince her to help Emmett, and Steen was like, oh no, that I'm not helping him. Shit, I'm going to be the one that's next. Post Steen. Now, Finance Frank, he been pouring over these phone records and everything, and there's one number that's unaccounted for. So he goes and tells Bonnie and Real Nice Nate, that's probably Javier. That's probably his number. And Real Nice Nate is tired. Look, we cannot be guessing anymore. We got to know for a fact. Miller probably did not tell anybody to do what they thought. And then it flashbacks to Miller. And we see him being approached by Laurel's brother. Of course, they're in the dark, car in the dark garage. When they get in the car, he asks him, did he want to run for DA? Why be the interim when you can be the, the big man on campus? He goes on to share with him how Annalise killed the, Denver, and Miller was just like, well, then if you have that information, then why don't you give it to the FBI and maybe they can help, get your father out of jail. He says, nah, that's not the reason why I'm here. He said, you're familiar with her Supreme Court client, right? Oh, This is about Real Nice Nate's daddy? What's this about? Miller is intrigued, I guess. Now, back at the Keaton 5-1's house, Michaela and Asher are looking over the chart. You know, they stressed out. Okay, while they sitting there trying to figure things out, Gabe texts her and says that he needs to talk to Michaela ASAP. At the same time, we see Laurel and her eyebrows trying to convince Connor and Oliver, you know, to become the baby's legal guardian if anything happens, you know, because they're the only ones that have love around the house. We see Annalise, she goes to Emmett. All right, and he looking at her like, oh, okay. One day you accuse me of trying to kill somebody. Next day you here to help me. And she says, look, I won't even say that I'm sorry, but I will tell you that I will get you out of here. Okay, she has proof that the Castillos is behind this whole thing and that they're the ones that gave the paperwork to the governor. So let's get to work so she can get them on up out of there. Now we see Bonnie. She's looking over the phone logs and she's telling Fine Ass Frank there's no way that Miller could have been the one because the phone log dates show this is the time when she was at her sister's house and Miller was there the whole time. He was talking to her on the phones. There's no way that he could have been planning and plotting this whole scheme to kill Real Nice Nate Daddy, you know, while all this was going on. And then we see the flashback of, you know, them talking and she just saying how she got to be there and, you know, she's got to get this settled with her sister and, you know, he tells her how much he loves her and then he goes on to say, you know, what would you think if I didn't run for DA? And she was like, but I thought that's what you wanted. And he was just like, I mean, it's just so much evil and bad. I got to get in bed with the bad people. I mean, look what happened with Denver. And she says, well, you just run it your own way. You ain't got to do it the Denver way. Okay. And he says, okay, well, he gets off the phone with her and then, you know, he sits around and he's contemplating the Poe thing, hair all frizzled and he all sweating and shit. And finally he calls a little brother and he says, yeah, I'm in. I said, oh, you just got in the bed with the devil, child. Now, Real Nice Nate. Here he go taking, you know, shit into his own hands. I said, oh, Real Nice Night. Here we go. He go and corner up the warden in the dark garage this time. The warden was like, look, I done already did it with your damn friend Bonnie. I don't want no shit with you too. Well, Real Nice Nate don't care about all of that. He want to know if Castillo was a part of the transfer. And the warden was like, what? Who Castillo? No. Okay, the only person that I talked to was Miller. Real Nice Nate don't believe that. He get to growling and shit at him. I say, oh, here it's about to go bad. Okay. And then we get the flashback of how Miller was the one who went to the warden and asked him for the transfer that Wednesday night. Okay, he, you know, and the warden was telling him, we don't do transfers at night. We don't do it in the middle of the night. And Miller was like, please just do it for me, just this one time. Real Nice Nate says, your guards did something wrong. And he says, no, my guards did not do anything wrong. You a cop. You know how it is when a perp reaches for your gun. What you supposed to do? Okay, Real Nice Nate, he ain't taking that answer either. Next thing you know, he come calling Bonnie. Hey, I'm gonna need you to come bail me out. I said, Real Nice Nate, you gonna get that damn attitude, that temper under control. Evidently, he done got arrested for assault and battery. See, so then we see Bonnie, she texts Annalise to let her know, Real Nice Nate got arrested, assault and battery, I'm on it. Okay. I was like, poor Annalise. I mean, every time she turn around, it's somebody else. But I guess Real Nice Nate said he gonna beat everybody's ass till he get his answers. So, Annalise, you know, she's there with Emmett. He's like, is there something wrong? And she was just like, oh, family issue. Don't worry about it. But whatever. The FBI people come in so we can try to get this show on the road. And she shows them the security footage. Well, she doesn't. You are so fucking close to my car. Are you going to be able to... This man is so fucking close to my car. Look, he can barely get by. Stupid ass. Where was I? The FBI is talking, and they trying to figure out how Annalise is going to be his lawyer when he's in there because supposedly he killed Real Nice Nate's father. Like, don't you see the conflict of interest here? Well, she doesn't believe that he killed Real Nice Nate's father now. Okay, and she actually has security footage that proves that actually Javier Castillo is the one who had a meeting with Real Nice Nate's father. And the phone records that they have was fabricated by the Castillos. They were like, oh, so you think that Jorge did all of this to get back at you? And she said, of course he did, and it worked. Okay, my career is fucked up, you know, my heart is broken. So here we are. Well, the FBI don't give a fuck about no hearts. The FBI sits down and says, okay, well, all this you talking is whatever, but how about this recording of you and Steen discussing that Emmett is guilty? So remember when her and Steen was in the office and she was saying that he's guilty and she was like, I want to look him in the eye. Okay, they have that recording. Remember, Annalise at the time didn't know that he had bugged the officers. So they had that on tape, and he looked up at her like, okay, Annalise, now what? It almost looked like Emmett is entertained with all this that's going on. Now back at Gorgeous Gabe, Michaela goes over to Gorgeous Gabe's house and he was like, I'm trusting you with my life. Okay, and of course she's all just like, oh, our relationship hasn't gotten there yet. He's like, this is serious. FBI Blondie was here. She wants shit on Annalise. You know, he shows her the file that the FBI Blondie gave her. You know, was his mother's boyfriend who died from the drug overdose. Not quite sure how Gorgeous Gabe was tied up in that, but it sounded like it was insinuated that he was actually the one who provided the drugs to the boyfriend. But he didn't say that. She was just like, are you behind this? And he was like, you can be my lawyer later. Okay, in the meantime, give me some shit on Annalise. And she was like, Annalise hasn't done anything. You know, and he was like, well, somebody around here knows something. God damn it, I'm tired of this. And she was like, nobody knows anything. And he was like, oh, really? That's why they offered immunity to Laurel? And she was like, what? All right, so then she go home and she was like, Laurel and her eyebrows, get your ass down these stairs. And then Laurel come down there and she says, so you wasn't going to tell us that they offered you immunity? Okay, and she was like, no, I wasn't going to say anything because I knew you guys would overreact. And Connor was just like, oh, you was planning on turning on us. And she was like, no, you know, she trying to convince him that she wasn't planning on turning on him and all this. They looking at her like, bitch, we don't believe shit you got coming out your mouth no more. I said, finally. I wish you guys would have realized a long time ago that Laurel is the reason why you guys are always in some shit. Laurel goes and gets the blanket. Let me show you something. This blanket has Miller's blood on it. And if I was going to turn on you guys, then I would have given this to them. And I still have it. And I was like, bitch, but you still have it though. Okay, so what we supposed to think about that? Laurel's telling them how FBI Blondie did all of this because she wants everybody to turn on each other. And it's working. You know, that's why she went to Gorgeous Gabe. And they all looking at her like, I said, that's right. Burn her at the stake. Loving it. Now, Annalise calls Steen and she says, look, I need you to go and help Emmett because I got to go and get Real Nice Nate's ass out of fucking jail. And, you know, she was just like, he in jail? And she says, yeah, but don't worry about it. Just go over there and help Emmett. We owe it to him. They already heard us on the damn tape talking about he was guilty and all of that. And, of course, Steen is still very afraid. Like, well, you know, the Castillos, they're going to come after her. And Annalise was like, listen, girl, I'm going to need you to man up, damn it. Okay, we two strong black women's around here. Shonda put us in place. We're not fixing to let the Castillos scare us. Okay, so get the chin up and do what you need to do. So then we see Annalise, she there at the jailhouse with Real Nice Nate. You know, he's sitting in the cell and she was like, Bonnie is working on getting you out. And he was like, Bonnie, not you. And she just looks at him. Okay. Listen, nigga, I can't be bailing you out every time you get mad at somebody. You got to learn how to control yourself. Otherwise, they're going to say that you just like how your daddy was. You can't solve all the issues with your fist. And I was like, Real Nice Nate say, oh, yes, he can. Then we see Fine Ass Frank. I guess Fine Ass Frank tired of this shit. Okay, so he go back to his cloak and dagger ways, and he's in the dark car in the garage, of course, and he's waiting. Next thing we see, one of the guards that killed Real Nice Nate's daddy, she gets in the car and he put the rope around her neck and he was like, listen, you're going to be dead in a few minutes if you don't tell me who killed Real Nice Nate Sr. And she says, okay. All right. And she tells him that she was paid. She was paid by who? She was paid by David Castillo? I was like, who is David? And then I was just like, did she say Javier David, child? I'm telling you, it took me 2 hours to watch this fucking episode. I had to keep on rewinding. I swear I thought she said David, but isn't the brother's name Javier? Okay, and then the daddy name is Jorge. So who the fuck is David? So maybe I wrote that down wrong, or I misunderstood or something. Y'all clarify that for me. But anyway, the Castillos is the one who paid her and the other guard to kill Real Nice Nate's daddy. Now back at the kids, you know, Asher, he's trying to look up some old cases to try to figure out how they can get FBI Blondie in trouble. The fact that Laurel did go down there and talk to her about her mother, you know, they can say that FBI Blondie didn't protect a person that she was supposed to be protecting and witness protection. Laurel's like, no, we can't do that, because if we do, then, you know, my brother and my dad, they'll come after me and they'll kill me and Christopher next. I was like, so what? Shit, I'm sorry for the baby. I am, y'all. Bless the baby heart. You know, you can't choose your parents. But at this point, just get rid of Laurel and her eyebrows. Shit. Of course, they all, you know, because it's Laurel, they not gonna go with that plan. I said, if you knew like I knew, you would. Now, fine as Frank goes back and tells Annalise, Laurel is telling the truth. He was able to find out that the guards was paid by the Castillos. And Annalise was like, how'd you find that out? And he was like, I could be pretty convincing. She was like, I thought you said you were going to go back to being, you know, good Frank. And he was like, listen, good Frank don't get no results around here, okay? Bad Frank is the one that keeps all of y'all alive. So listen, you just gonna have to deal with bad Frank. Let's just keep this Frank that you got right here. Shit. So that's that. All right, now Finance Frank tells her we're gonna have to deal with all of the rest later, and she was like, all of the rest what? And he just kind of looked at her like, and I said, oh Lord, what does that mean? Okay, next we see her calling Laurel and says, are you ready to do what you need to do to clear everybody's name and fix all this? Look at this man, and just, here he come back getting in his car. I know that motherfucker better not hit my damn car. Shit. Next we see Steen, and Steen goes down to the FBI, and I don't know what Steen gave him. Okay, because by this time, I hadn't rewound it and all of that. But Steen, whatever Steen gave the FBI, it got Emmett out. Okay, cleared his name. We also see Laurel, she burning the blanket. I guess this is supposed to show that she's being loyal to her friends. Then we see Laurel, she sees her brother on the street, you know, sees him getting out of his car, and he was like, oh, Laurel, I'm so happy to see you. And Annalise was just like, are you happy to see me? You know, Annalise was over in the cut. Well, no, Javier didn't want to see you. And he just wanted to see his sister. This motherfucker better not hit my car. That shit was close as fuck. Back at the house, Gorgeous Gabe calls Michaela. She doesn't answer the phone, but he left her a voicemail. Look, if you don't want to help me, that's fine. Okay. I'm a big boy. I've been in trouble before. I know how to fix things on my own. Okay, so I'll be fine. I'll be good. You just go on about your business. But Michaela wants to help him. You know, he doesn't have anybody. We all have each other. She's telling the rest of the kids that. Asher says, well, if we are going to help, you know, my idea still stands. I know Laurel don't want us to do it, but, you know, we can go and take the scalpel and down to the FBI and let her know so we can get FBI Blondie off of everybody's case. Do you guys want to do that? Well, they all vote unanimously, without Laurel there being, of course, because Laurel is with her brother and Annalise. Y'all with it? We can apologize later. Okay, well, they with it. So next we see Asher go down to the FBI with the bagel scalp. And, you know, he tells them what he planned on telling them, that FBI Blondie was supposed to be protecting our girl, and she didn't. And we suspect that that is Laurel's mama. That's her head, the top of her head anyway, in that bag. And he believes that she was killed by the son. Now, let's jump back over to Annalise and Laurel. So they are confronting the brother. They're trying to say that he did something to the mama, and he was like, no, Laurel, you were the last person that was with my mom. Okay, you the last one saw her alive. And Laurel, then that's when she kind of explains away to us, the viewer, that her mother knew that she was in danger. You know, when she was leaving her, you know, her mom dug into her arms and scratched her because she didn't want her to leave, because she knew that her and Christopher weren't safe. So I guess that's supposed to explain the scratches. But you know you did what you did to mom's head, and the brother actually genuinely looks shocked. He was like, what you talking about? And what I did to mama's head? You cut the top off. That's what you did. So Laurel is trying to pin it on her brother. He's saying that he ain't had shit to do with it. So she was just like, you turned into our father. Just tell us the truth. Brother don't want to talk no more. Okay, Annalise was like, well, just tell us, did you pay Miller? How much did you pay him? Did you promise him the DA seat, but you couldn't win, and he played your ass? You wanted to have the transfer done, and he had the transfer done ahead of time, and that makes a whole bunch of sense because you don't seem to succeed at anything. You know, you one big failure. That's why your father wants Laurel instead of you, because Laurel has the same guts, has the same brains, and she going all in on old Javier, and he was like, who said I failed? I said, oh. And then we get the flashback of Javier. He got the one up on Miller. He was like, oh, I underestimated you. So you was trying to get him transferred, early, so that I couldn't get to him, huh? Okay, well, we still took care of that ass. And you gonna be next if you cross me again. Okay, and everybody you love. We gonna start with Miss Cold Ass. Annalise go real hard on him. You lost this one, boo. And now you going to jail. Maybe you can get the cell right next to your daddy. And so when her and Laurel leave, Javier gets an old burner phone out and he calls the governor and he says, yeah, Annalise just left here, and she on that bullshit. And the governor was like, well, she done left us with no choice. We got to go with the plan B. I said, oh, child. Now what is plan B? Because shit. Back at the house, Asher goes home. He's feeling real proud of himself, that he ready to celebrate again. And Connor and Oliver, they looking, real deathly white. Yeah, they've been looking into the background of Michaela's parents, her birth parents, okay, and her father, it looked like his name was Dwight. Asher is just like, okay, so what's the problem? Because why y'all looking like that? And they were like, well, he knew Annalise. I said, that Annalise. Now, we all know that Annalise is tied into these kids all some sort of way, okay? And I guess Michaela should be no different, right? Now, Michaela goes and lets Gorgeous Gabe know that they did help him. Asher went to the FBI, and the FBI Blondie is fired. He's so happy, he kisses her. And she kisses him back, At first, he's like, I'm sorry, is that okay? And she was like, yeah, that's okay, okay. Let's get to knocking some boots up in here. Fucking niggas are stressed out. You about to go to jail anyway, so you might as well go on and do what you can do, while you still on this side of the bars. But I'm thinking like, oh, it ain't going too well because the FBI Blondie, even though her ass did get fired, okay, and she clearing out her desk and putting her shit in the boxes, she still makes a call to Gorgeous Gabe's mama. Hey, girl, I need to talk to you about your son. I said, ooh, this bitch vindictive. I mean, you still gonna tell on the son and you got fired? Then we see that the governor, she's having it's not a press conference, but she's decided to break into the schedules on television to voice her side. She says that there has been an investigation by the FBI into her office. That's true. However, they're making it seem like she is the person of interest, but there's somebody else they are investigating. That's supposed to be Emmett, but they not saying nothing about Emmett because he's being protected by this big law firm. So she's going on saying how it's fake news and all of this shit. And at the same time, we see that guard, that female guard that Finance Frank had put the rope around her neck. Okay, we see her meeting with Bonnie in the garage. This time the lights on though. And Bonnie was like, why am I here with you? And she says, well, it's just a whole bunch going on with that Miller thing. People are around here asking questions. I'm just scared. Like, I just want to tell the truth. Bonnie was like, so you looking for a deal, like from the DA's office? And she was like, yeah. She was just like, okay, well, then you need to tell me who gave you the order. The guard says DA Miller. And I was like, wait, what? That's when we see Fine-Ass Frank telling Annalise that Miller was innocent. And Annalise was like, oh no, Bonnie and them, they can't know this. So then we flash back to seeing Fine-Ass Frank threatening the guard in, the hallway, the stairwell at the building. And he's telling them like, listen, you need to meet with Bonnie and you need to tell her that Miller is the one who paid you, not the Castillos. Miller's the one who ordered the hit. Make sure you get that real clear because I know where you live and I know about your kids and all that. And I sure hate to have to kill everybody. So she got that real straight. So that's how she ends up going and telling Bonnie that Miller was the one who paid her when really he wasn't. So then Bonnie goes, and once she gets a real nice Nate out of jail, She looking real sickly. And he said, what's the matter? And she says, Miller was the one who paid the guards. And so they both hug each other. You know, she's crying. For now, at least, Finance Frank and Annalise have thwarted off the breakdowns mentally of Real Nice Nate and Bonnie Winterbottom. Now, also at the same time, we see Steen. You know, she has already gotten Emmett out. So they are back at the law firm, and Emmett was like, wow, I don't know if I ought to be, you know, celebrating or drowning my worries in this alcohol. And she said maybe a little bit of both, because even though FBI Blondie is off your case, we still got to deal with the Castillos. And he was like, okay, well, you know what? He gonna pour up some whiskey so them two can have a little toast. And she says, oh, no, honey, I'm a gin girl. So, you know, let me go get my shit out of my office. I'll be right back. Don't you go nowhere. And then when she gets to her office, she sees on TV that the governor is doing all this blaming and shit and talking about Emmett. So she calls Annalise. And Annalise and Laurel has just come out from the brother's office. And, you know, Laurel is all like, you know, you always protect me. And, you know, I just want to thank you. And I was like, I don't know why Annalise, something about that. It's the baby, y'all. It's the baby. But, yeah, okay, so let's just take it on home. But Steen calls her, and Steen says, girl, on the news, the governor is up here, and she has just blamed Emmett on national television. Now, he upstairs waiting on me to come back up there with my gin. I'm supposed to be getting drunk with him, and what am I supposed to tell him? I said, well, girl, you ain't got to tell him nothing, because... Child, they done already got the Emmett. Emmett is on the ground. Okay, he holding his chest. He done dropped his drink. He obviously have been poisoned by that drink. I was like, girl, you better be glad you went and got that fucking gin, honey. That shit just saved your life. So while she trying to figure it out and Annalise telling her to keep him calm until she can get there, yeah, we ain't got to worry about that. At the same time, Annalise realizes that Laurel is not around her. You know, she looking around like, Laurel? Laurel? Where's Laurel? Well, we don't know. But she calls Finance Frank and said, get over to the house and see if the baby is okay. So Finance Frank come busting in over where the kids are. You know, Oliver and Connor are supposed to be watching the baby. And it's like, where's the baby? Okay, the baby's upstairs. They've been keeping an eye on him the whole time, you know, on the little security baby cam. Okay, Finance Frank run upstairs. The child, the baby gone. Okay, he called Annalise and he says the baby is gone. All right, they done looped the security baby cam footage, so they done got in there and stole the baby. They done stole Laurel from right in front of Annalise. They done killed Emmett. Honey, that Steen better go in hiding real quickly because that's her ass. And all that they thought they just did, it has not worked out for your girl Annalise. You know, she just calling around, Laurel! Laurel! I said, oh, that's it. Listen, I am fine with Laurel being gone. Let the whole fucking family go. The only person I'm just sad that might get it, you know, might get it next is Steen. Okay? But hey, you win some, you lose some. But as far as everybody else, let Laurel and that baby be gone again. You know, I'm sorry for the baby. You know, we love the baby and all of that, but somehow let it work out that the baby turns back up. Laurel can go on and be dead with the rest of her fucking family, and Annalise will get her baby and, you know, run off to the sunset. She'll finally have her child. It got a little bit of Wes in them, you know, so she can just live her life, raise little Christopher, and all of that. But, yeah, this ending did not go well for your girl, Annalise. Girl. And Emmett did. Child, it's terrible. So much going on. It was a very good episode, but I'm telling you, I was stressed the entire time. What did you guys think about the episode? Did you guys enjoy it? What are your predictions for next season? I think next season is probably going to be the ending, but we'll see. But leave all of what you got to say below. All right, rock stars, let me get off of here. About to give me something to eat. Take it on back to the office, okay? Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel is for itsrox, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, rock stars. Bye.